So welcome to the next episode of Gregor Theory. As we already declared, our goal is evolution of human intelligence. This means to upgrade our cognitive abilities. Cognition has to do with how a person understands the world and acts in it. In order to be able to upgrade intelligence, we must first concentrate on processes of the mind. We do this by describing the individual subsystems of the brain and examining the nature of information in general. Because information is created through consciousness, it is necessary to understand the connection between the two elements, the mind and the information. Today, let's take a closer look at the automatic activation of information through the subconsciousness. In previous episodes, we mentioned that the consciousness creates information that is grouped with an actual existing input signal to some form of unit. And this unit is then saved to the shared memory. But what happens if we record the same type of input that we have already processed in the past? We have real existing input which matches the input that existed in the past but is now stored in memory along with the information connected to it. We have just registered the current input that is a new entity and still has no information. So shall we consider the conscious approach or the subconscious? Well, we have two options. Either the brain will use a small trick and therefore we will not process the current input, but instead we will use the copy from the shared memory, which is the same input but already has information added to it. The second option is that the new process will create new information for this existing input. This process requires an active approach, uses brain energy, and takes more time. It's far more efficient to use activation. So let's look at our first possibility of subconscious activation. If the input does not change over time, we can recycle the old information from the shared memory. A very good example is the journey home. We have completed this journey several times. The key condition of the whole process is that the roadmap does not change over time. It consists of static objects such as road signs, crosswalks, intersections, buildings, traffic lights, and so on. All these things usually do not change over a long period of time. Concept of time plays an important role here. The mind can be easily manipulated in time. Perceiving the presence through activated input from the past is one of the tricks it uses. So do I have to think about the route I come home every day? Or can I just pass through it without actually thinking about it? Is it enough to recycle the old information, recycle the past? The answer is that if nothing has changed on the road, your brain does not have to work in conscious mode. All the needed information are in the memory ready to be used. We can complete the journey home in a kind of automatic mode, with present entries automatically being replaced by past ones. So let's take a closer look at the whole process. We do this by using a virtual map of city of Bratislava.
In this example, our position is represented by a blue box. We are coming along the river to a crossroad where we have two options how to proceed. We can follow either of these two paths. We can turn left and continue up the map, or go straight and continue to the right of the map. This is the actual real place. We see the first car taking a left turn and the second one going straight. But we can't go both ways at the same time, so this is one of the points on the route where we need to make a decision. Let's call these points navigation nodes. It is necessary to use localization and navigation from these points. If we follow the route for the first time, we don't know either. Everything is new, we don't have any information stored in our memory. There is no information assigned to the picture. First, we must consciously recognize the various objects in order to identify them. We must use conscious thinking to add information to the picture. I see a traffic light and a hotel and crosswalk and a tram track. We assume that this information will not change in time. The traffic light or the hotel will be in the same place also in a year. Now I have named this place and I added information to the inputs that I received. Next time when I follow the same route, this information will light up in my head, but the brain will do it automatically for me through subconsciousness. Now that we have localized our position, we still need to make a navigation choice. This process is again done consciously if we are doing it for the first time. So we have two possibilities: go straight or go left. But each of these choices leads to a different outcome. So now I can name both of the outcomes as position 1 and position 2. By making the decision, I change my position to one of these places. In math, we call this transformation, which occurs when there is a change, for example, in position, shape, or size. Types of transformation in maths are, for example, translation and rotation. A transformation maps a preposition onto a new position. So in this very situation, we are at navigation node, let's call it P0. By transformation 1, we end up in position P1, and by transformation number 2, in position P2. Now I have to choose one transformation and reconcile it with reality, which means the outcome needs to be my home position. In this case, my home position is P1, so I have to choose transformation number 1.
So with the information stored, what happens when we come to the P0 node again? For the first time, we had to use a sequence of problem-solving procedures, which led us to single transformation. The second time around, there is no need for any of the previous steps of the actual localization or navigation procedures. The transformation function is already stored and connected to this navigation node. It only needs to be activated. This could be done automatically by subconsciousness, which activates the past information without the actual process of examination the current conditions of reality. The activation is simply based on the similarity of real or active input and past input. Subconsciousness expects to achieve the same result while recycling the past information. This could be done only if the conditions have not changed in time. The subconsciousness process does not require awareness of reality. The question is whether we can distinguish between actual information and activated past information. The answer is we cannot. They are both the same to us. We react to both information the same way. This is important. Our past information has the same meaning as the current information that has just been created. So the mind plays the time trick on us. The important difference is that during the conscious process, the number of elements in shared memory is growing because we create new information, while by recycling the old information, the number of elements or memory parts does not change.
So we'll see later that this is a problem. It puts a limit on our intelligence because it builds a barrier to intelligence development. It lets our mind recycle information or thoughts instead of creating new ones, thus disconnecting us from the actual reality. And all this is a natural process. As we said, it is hard to distinguish between past and present information as mind treats both equally. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next episode, we'll talk about the conscious process.